Welcome to another episode of the Danny Ariza podcast. Today I have Mr. Steve Locker. He is the CEO and founder of Beacon Financial Group. Did I say that right?
That's correct. Thanks.
Perfect.
That's it.
Thanks a lot for being here, man.
Danny, this is amazing. Thank you for having me. Like, what an honor.
No, listen, good thing I ran into you at Toca Fest the other
That's
day.
pretty funny.
That was, by the way, those things I get you. Those Toca Mules or whatever that tequila is that they put in there.
Yeah, we had a couple of shots like after dinner, and you had some of your phenomenal real estate ladies with you.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure running into you. So I've seen a bunch of your podcasts. I've seen some of the boys coming through here.
Yeah.
It's really cool seeing a familiar face getting interviewed here at the club, and I think it's great what you're doing. I'm honored to be.
Yeah, it's really
honored to be part of it today. So
and thank you, because I know you're a busy guy, but you're a much more fun guy to be with.
Thanks, man. We'll see if that comes out on camera today. But yeah, people are joking. Once the lights go on and the camera starts, you feel your heat rise.
No, it does happen. I mean, honestly, I've done a bunch of these already, but it takes a lot of practice to
absolutely.
just
Public speaking.
It's not easy.
Public speaking is probably one of the hardest things that you'll ever do. When I first started the company, I started in '96, so we're going on our 30th year this year.
So you must be doing something right, you know?
Yeah, I think we're doing quite a few things right. But I remember doing a presentation in front of 100 clients, some of my top clients, and I just completely blacked out. The room went black. My temperature felt like I was like 1,000 degrees. I just totally forgot what I was going to say at the time. I think I said something to the effect of, we're here to help you maximize your risk and minimize your returns.
Whoa.
One of my partners stepped in and they're like, well, I think what Steve was trying to say was the opposite. And then once, you pop out of that moment, I was fine. It's almost like being in a big game.
Yeah.
Or like being in a big golf match, playing competitive sports. Like, you need that first hit. You got to get hit. You have to get that first shot, and then all of a sudden the nerves kind of calm down, and you can be yourself.
Yeah, business is like a sport. Anytime I'm going through a tough time in my business, I go back to thinking when I used to play soccer. Yeah, and just kind of like pushing through. And
what positions did you play in soccer?
Well, I started as a forward, and then I realized that I was too slow for that. And then I was right back. Yeah.
Where'd you play? Did you play?
No. So I played
like club, high school.
I played a lot. I played club, the travel team. I played a year at Ironbound.
In Newark.
In Newark.
Tough group of guys.
That was. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't make it that far, but I played with them.
So this is after like high school and college, and
during the spring.
Gotcha.
And then I played high school at Memorial in West New York.
Nice.
And I was the captain when I was my senior year. Right. I was not an All-American, but I was All-State second team.
Hey, All-State's good.
Yeah.
Which playing a team sport is.
It's awesome. I miss it. I miss it all the time.
It's a prelude to running a successful business or being a successful business person. There's only so much you could do by yourself, right? So when you have the more success you have, you attribute it to the team around you. Yeah. That's what I always thought.
So I'll go right into it. You were an All-American in soccer and lacrosse?
I'm going to confirm lacrosse. I think the few guys out here like to say I was a dual All-American. I was All-State.
All-State.
For sure. Won state championship at Westfield High School and had an offer to play both lacrosse and soccer in college. But I could tell you for sure I was All-American in lacrosse. And my senior year in 1986, I was the New Jersey Player of the Year for the state of New Jersey. So
wow, that's
a lot of work, hard work. But I'll keep chatting if you.
Because I kind of want to get into it because, like you said, there is a lot of people that I know that are very successful in business.
Yep.
And part of it is because they were successful in sports.
I think there's definitely a correlation, to that. I think a big part of any success with a business is the discipline. You have to be very disciplined. And then same with athletics. Like if you're not a disciplined person, the successes aren't going to come as easily as someone that works and puts in that extra time. I don't care how you sum it up. The more you work at it, the better you're going to be. And I think it was Vince Lombardi said, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So you can do the same thing over and over. If you're not doing it really well, you're just going to get the same results.
Yeah.
And again, I had a really good support network growing up. I actually didn't pick up a lacrosse stick till I was a sophomore in high school.
Wow.
If you think about that, today these kids are starting at like 4 years old, 5 years old. So my high school didn't have a hockey team, which was my true love. My number one passion was always hockey. And I was the best at hockey, better than lacrosse, better than soccer. But my high school team didn't have hockey. So my mom was basically like, you need to get out of the house.
Yeah, no, you have to, yeah.
We were getting in trouble. We were doing things that, ninth graders do, boys. And she's like, you got to get out of the house. So a buddy of mine from Westfield put a lacrosse stick in my hand. And, a year later, we're state finalists. We lose. Then my junior year, we win the state championship. Senior year, we win the state championship, 19-1. I was New Jersey Player of the Year.
Wow.
We had a similar soccer success at Westfield, and I had played soccer from a younger age.
Yeah.
But again, just had a great group of guys around me, phenomenal, athletes, players. It's not something you do on your own.
Did you go on to play in school?
I did. I had a full scholarship to play at Rutgers University. Very proud to have done 4 years there. And amazing the difference just going from high school to college. 17-year-old kid, New Jersey Player of the Year, you think you're invincible. And then you meet 21, 22-year-old men that have been playing, and you're going, I'm really not even sure if I'm supposed to be here. But that's a moment where you decide, hey, how hard do I want to work? How much do I really want to be part of this? Because you're not starting. There was 24 kids that came when I was a freshman who were all the greatest players on their high school teams. I think 3 or 4 of us made it to our sophomore year, mostly by choice. They're like, this isn't for me. I want to do the college thing. And so, the discipline, kicked in. Just like in business, some days, Danny, it's like super easy, right? Just like, it's great. Other days, it's not so easy. So the analogy I like to use is kind of like riding a bike.
Yeah.
When sometimes you got the motivation pedal up, the discipline pedal's down. And when the motivation pedal's up, super easy. But then there's days where it's like, it feels like a grind. And that's when the discipline has to take over, and at that point, anything can get accomplished. If you can overcome the lack of motivation by using discipline, I think you can accomplish anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's it's the dream, right? Like I remember playing soccer and I had a password which was like All-American 2002.
Okay.
I graduated in 2003, but I was like, I want to be an All-American, because my brother got a scholarship. He played D1. He was like,
where did he play?
St. Peter's.
Nice, yeah.
And but he was all around. I mean, he's right now 45.
Oh, he's a puppy.
But he's still playing. He works for McKinsey, and I guess they have like an office. Like every office has its own team. Yeah. And they travel all around, and it's like a fun stuff. And he keeps in shape. I can't play soccer anymore. Why not? That's why I stick to golf.
You can, if you wanted to, but you choose
choose
not to.
I
don't play lacrosse. I had a career-ending injury. I think, at some point we all do, go through injuries. Yeah. So I did have a career-ending knee injury, which that was it for me playing lacrosse, which was fine. I did have, I had offers to play for the major indoor lacrosse league, it was Philly and it was Long Island, like two, not the easiest places to get to. And I think they were paying like $50 a week back in 91, 92. So I decided to start in the financial services industry. At that point, once I had my knee surgery.
And what year was this?
This is 91. 1991.
And where did you start? Which company?
I started with a great group called IDS Financial Services. They were a division of American Express. So not really American Express, kind of had the backing, but you call somebody and you're like, I'm with IDS Financial Services. Yeah. They're like, who's that?
And that was back then, you were just cold calling.
Not so much cold calling. I had an interesting, you could buy leads from American Express for like, I think it was $8 a lead. and people would call the lead
That's a lot of
once.
money.
It's a lot of money. I was on a draw salary. I was making $24,000 a year.
Yeah.
I was on a draw salary. I was paying for, secretarial support. I was paying for office space. I was paying for these leads, and I was still trying to keep, some money left over at the end of the week to go to the shore and have a few beers, 22 years old. Like, you want to have some fun. So, most people in our industry or in any industry, you call a lead once and you're supposed to be like hot or warm leads. And the people are like, I don't remember doing it. I didn't call you, or, I'm not interested. So they would take this $8 lead and they would just chuck it. I'm like, there's got to be a bunch of these lying around. So I went to my division vice president. I said, what do you do with all the old leads? He's like, they're called recycled leads. And there was just like thousands of them in this draw. I'm like, I'll take them. And I started working with those and just having, it was time in. Like guys would order 10 new leads and they'd be out on Monday because they called them. I had thousands to call.
No,
so I just, whenever I went on, and whenever I felt the motivation to get on the phone, my goal was two meetings a day. Set 2 meetings a day, and I think that's a good success, formula.
Do you remember your first deal, your first account?
I have probably about a half a dozen like firsts that I would think are my first. I don't remember the actual first. Probably pretty nervous again. But I do remember people saying like we had to memorize a script back in the day. That's the corporate side of things. And I remember people being like, can you stop selling me that vacuum cleaner? And I'm like, I apologize. And again, then you become yourself and you kind of create and you form your own style.
Yeah.
And I remember like, this works. This doesn't work, and on the recycle leads, like I had fun. I have a lot of fun. Like I talked to people and, it was like, do you want to help save money on your taxes or do you want to save for a specific goal? And they're like, no. I'm like, you don't want to save money on your taxes? They're like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, yeah, have a good day. I guess I'm not, like, you can't really
I guess you don't want to save money.
You can't take it any further at that point. And then my favorite was like, people would say, I'll tell you what, let me call you back.
Yeah.
So I'd say, you've heard that, right?
Yeah, all the time,
So I say, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put you in my heart attack file. Yeah. And they're like, what's the heart attack file? I go, the heart attack file is if you call me back, I'm going to have a heart attack.
That's a good comeback. Yeah.
So we had a lot of fun. I had a great group of guys kind of out of college that all started at the same time. So again, we were having fun. Yeah. That's key to building it. So that was 91 to 94. Then American Express physically came in and said, we're going to rebrand and call it American Express Financial Advisors. And everyone
which now is like Ameriprise or?
It's now Ameriprise. Very good. And they now have an independent channel. And I remember thinking, wow, this could be really cool. Or maybe, I thought it'd be really cool. But they came in corporate and basically undercut everything we had done. I was 25, I was a district manager, so I was one of the youngest district managers working I had like 30 or 40 new advisors that I was training. Wow. 25, it's kind of early. And they said, you to this other gentleman, they're like, you took a marketing class in college, so you're going to be in charge of marketing for the state of New Jersey, and we're going to pool all the income for the advisors, for all the managers. I'm like, that doesn't really work. He's making like X, I'm making Y. Like why? So the writing was on the wall. So 96, we made it about a year and a half. 96, July 4th, we said, let's start our own thing. I said I had one kind of really close buddy that was an advisor at the time, and I said, let's, he had 3 kids. I was just newly married, and he said, I'm willing to do this. I said, if you are willing to do it with 3 kids, I'm certainly willing to do it and take the leap. And we took 4 advisors with us. So we started as 6 on picnic tables in Warren, New Jersey, still in the same building at Town Center Drive. And we just last year in 2025, this year actually, crossed the $1 billion mark in assets under management for our firm. So pretty big accomplishment for that. And
I mean, just to stay in business for 30 years is a big accomplishment, because this business, I mean, especially after 2008, like you can get a lot of people.
Well, a lot of, I'm older than, most of the guys. Well, not, most of the guys that we hang out with at the club. I'm 56. So I've been in this business a long time. So I saw the first .com bubble too.
That, yeah.
You probably don't even remember that. I mean,
I not as much, no.
So there was, that was a really like eye-opening moment for me as an advisor and as a leader of Beacon Financial Group, where people were getting a little bit crazy. Greedy's a really good word.
Yeah.
Where they're calling and they're buying, I want to buy, X 100,000 shares of this penny stock. And I'm like, why? Well, because the growth funds are up 40%. The tech funds and the AI or the .com, AI didn't even exist back then, but the .com were up 300x on performance, and they had no earnings. They had nothing. They didn't make a product. They didn't have revenue. So it was very enlightening when that crash, that 80% crash in the NASDAQ came. That was like, okay, we gotta make sure that this never happens.
Not just that, again. But that was followed by 9/11 too, which took
9/11 was, for other reasons, extremely, sad and a teaching moment. But it was a short-lived sell-off.
Yeah.
The .com took the NASDAQ years to come back. The response after 9/11 was.
I mean, the 2000s, if you think about it, because I think we had a good big recession too in, obviously 2008.
Well, then you had the financial crisis. Yeah. That was one of the craziest things I ever saw. Like I was getting on a plane coming back from San Francisco, and I read that the first TARP package was not passed, and the markets were down
800, 900.
At that point, 800 or 900 points percentage-wise was huge. Now it's like not even a big deal. The only way to correlate it is like the tariff trades of early 2025 when the markets were, 15, 20%
or the
down.
Pandemic.
That was the pandemic. You can't forget about the pandemic. Yeah. So the decade of 20, has this decade's been interesting.
So
for sure.
So let me ask you, because that obviously that's more recent, the pandemic, and how did it feel for you and your team that on March when things were like? Because I know a lot of people that will come back now and say, we saw it coming back.
Oh, absolutely.
But the market, I remember being on TV watching CNBC and just like, I remember oil going negative.
Yeah.
Which
right.
was like
you got to pay to me to get away
to get oil.
Right. That was crazy.
And that was absolutely crazy.
That was one of many, crazy things that happened. So until that moment comes, meaning until you have that .com crash, or until you have that financial crash, or until that pandemic bear market hits, everything feels great. But when you're in it, it feels terrible. I mean, there is no worse feeling than watching your portfolio drop, or anybody's portfolio drop 20%. Like, I take that extremely personally. And it's an awful feeling. You're like, when's it going to end? When's it going to end? It's really a bad feeling. A lot of these younger investors haven't really felt it or seen it. And so caution to all of you with your mega techs. And I think they're great companies. They're printing money. They're doing great. But, I think those are places that you got to be really careful right now, because history definitely repeats itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the pandemic was, it was scary. It was scary. I was a CrossFit guy at the time, and I remember just being at the gym and going, man, like, what is going on? The markets are crashing, and then all of a sudden they said, you can't go to work anymore. You can't come to the gym anymore. Everything is shut down. And we're like, what does that mean? Like, right? Everybody's like, what does that actually mean? From a business standpoint, we were fortunate because we were able to run our business model via conference calls. And then everyone learned about this amazing invention called Zoom. So, right, Zoom now became a standard part of your business operation. Conference calls were a part of your business operation. And every client that I spoke to, and I tried to reach out to everybody and had staff meetings with my advisors on a daily basis just to kind of catch up on, what we think is going on. I was really surprised to find out from those clients that they were really more concerned about, how are you doing? How's your family? Is everyone healthy? I was like, whoa, like, you're not worried that your investment portfolio is down 20%. I want to talk about that. They're like, yeah, this is kind of an untested time and nobody really knows what's going on. So how could you know what's going on? And we just want to make sure you're okay. Another like aha moment, and just started sharing those feelings with all of my staff and my clients, and just like, is everybody okay? More so, sometimes it's okay to go away from the business aspect. And a lot of our business, yours, mortgages, real estate, financial planning, your consultant, your therapist, your right?
I tell people, what, it doesn't matter if somebody is extremely knowledgeable on how to make money. If you don't connect on a personal level,
right,
on that, then nothing else matters. You got it. Because the moment that when you have clients coming into you and asking you about your family and all of that, it's because you have done the right thing for a long time with them.
Yeah.
And you have always put their interests in front of yours. And people see it. People realize after a while, it's like, okay, this guy's not looking for, he's not just making money off of me. He's actually, he cares.
Appreciate that.
And that takes a lot of work.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I have a really good team. We've got, I think, 20 staff, advisors, mostly advisors with some great staff supporting them, to help reach that, that $1 billion mark. I think
that's a big.
It's a good bogey. It was a good bogey. 30 years. We're having a big party here at the club for our holiday party.
Yeah.
We used to do the holiday party in December, but my dad passed away in 2010, so we pushed it off to January that year, and it made it a tradition now to do it in January, which actually works out pretty nicely because no one's rushing, no one's stressed, everyone's so busy the few weeks around Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
So middle of January becomes like a great time to have a holiday party. Everyone's relaxed and really wants to have a party.
Yeah, because you can just take it easy and actually enjoy it.
Exactly. So 30 years, amazing. Another milestone I'm like super proud of is my son. My middle son joined the business this year.
Yeah, I think you told me last time. Yeah.
I couldn't, as a father, to be able to, share your knowledge as well as your business, and with one of your kids or multiple kids it's a pretty good feeling. So he and a high school colleague of his started with us in April. So that's amazing. And then my oldest son, who's works for an insurance company, I'm trying to get him the licenses so that he can take over my compliance, because he's more of he's a quiet guy. He's the guy that comes and plays in the Invitational every year. He loves golf. But he's not a people fronting guy.
Yeah.
When it comes to business, like, give him a drink. He's the life of the party. But he could be a great compliance guy. So my compliance guy, who's been with me since the beginning of time, is 70. He had a grandkid. He wants to step down. I'm awesome. Thank you. And so I'm going to try to get my second kid in the business.
Yeah.
Which would be great.
So what would be your advice to any 25-year-old looking to get into it? Actually, you know what? Anybody, because there's I know a lot of people in their 30s, and they go like, I would like to be a financial advisor. What
to get into the business?
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, it's a hard business. It's a 2 to 3 year grind. There's a lot of companies that are, their mantras, go sell your friends and family, and that's not really the greatest, example of being a financial advisor, because your family loves you and trusts you, and they're going to do what you want. But I personally think if you want to be in this business, you get started when you're in high school, and they do a terrible job in this country and our communities of teaching kids about finance basics. What's a checking account? What's a savings account? What's a credit card? Like, I was at a lunch meeting with a couple of my kids a few weeks ago, and so I was giving someone a check for a charitable donation, and the guy's like, "Whoa, you brought a checkbook?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he said, "How many of you guys can actually sign a check or fill out a check?" None of them. Like they don't know how to complete it. Not that that's a terrible thing, but starting out today, I think it would be really easy to put in some financial classes, whether it's high school or college.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, so I my story, I mean, I got myself into financial trouble right out of high school. A lot of people, what I tell a lot of, I'm not that old, but what I tell a lot of younger guys is like, money comes down to emotion. A lot of times when you get in trouble with money, when you make bad decisions, there's some type of emotion, there's some type of challenge that you're going through, and a lot of people get in debt because they're overcompensating for something else.
Possibly.
A lot of people just, nobody just makes one mistake. It's just little things over a long period of time.
Snowball effect.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. A lot of the people that I have seen that have been very successful because they just make small changes.
Like I said earlier, perfect practice makes perfect. Perfect decision making makes perfect. Everyone makes decisions.
Yeah.
But you can make bad decisions. Bad decisions are going to lead to bad investments, bad outcomes. So there's a lot of guidance available. There's for someone who's in their 20s, 25, starting a new job or looking for a career. I mean, this field is tough. This is a tough, field, especially now. There's a lot of robotics. There's a lot, Robinhood came on the scene, and there's a lot of, easy ways to get advice from, a non-person. But I think the human factor is tremendous.
I personally think that the human factor is not going to doesn't go away, because it just becomes more valuable.
It can't go away because there's only so much a robot or AI can actually do. Having that human connection is really why we're all here.
Yeah. No, I mean, and listen, going back to like high school kids, it's so important that high school kids and freshmen in college knows the basics. Because like I said, it's just little things that you just don't realize, like how, sometimes we think you get in $5,000 in debt in a credit card, and that's a big deal for somebody not making money.
Especially when the rate's 20%.
Yeah, it's like just something that
you're, paying that minimum, you see the numbers, like you pay it off in 46 years. You're like, obviously things are going to change over the course of your life, but, debt's bad. So not just for someone who wants to get in the business, I'm not avoiding that question. Just a different level of what's out there. But for someone who's starting, or even someone that's established within their financial world, is always, take care of your foundation first. Make sure you don't have credit card debt that's at high interest rates. Make sure you have enough money in a cash reserve that's, there for emergencies. Yeah, your car breaks down, you can always put it on a credit card, but then you start compounding that problem. Always good to have money in a cash reserve, even if it's earning your traditional bank rate of 0. The banks are making money, yes, but there's also ways to get a little bit higher interest on those savings accounts. If that's if you have a lot of money there, that's something you can look at. Liquidity is tremendous. I'm a huge fan of your industry in the mortgage, factor. Like, why? I don't have my financial calculator in front of me, but you'll be amazed when I run the numbers of putting 20% on a house versus 30. So I'm a huge fan of having that mortgage.
Yeah.
Take the biggest mortgage you can, stretch it out over 30 years. Your cash flow, you have control over it. Literally, if you put another 10% down, you might save $100 a month. I don't know the exact numbers. You could probably run it on your system, but I think it's like 17 years, of how long it would take to save that money that you're putting down on that mortgage. And so I'm a big fan of having some leverage.
Yeah, no, I recently had a couple that they bought a house, and actually a couple of couples. And
I hope you have a lot of
yeah,
couples that
yeah.
buy houses and get
But,
more.
yeah.
You need 20 a month, from what I
Yeah,
understand.
unfortunately, I do have a couple of people that get divorced, and then we have to do mortgages. But that's a whole different thing.
We're not going. We're not covering that topic with me. All right.
But sometimes people will come in and be like, "No, I want to put the biggest down payment," and I go and tell them, "Look, I get where you're coming from. You want the lowest monthly payment." But sometimes, you go ahead on a $400,000 house. You put,
$400,000 house.
Yeah.
So you're putting, $80,000 down.
$80,000
right?
down.
You have a $320,000 mortgage. Let's say what, 6.5?
6.5, yeah.
30 years.
Yeah.
Your monthly principal and interest only is $2,023.
So if
So
you
remember
put,
that. So now if you put, so where are we at? 400. We put, so you put
let's put
30
10%.
down.
Or let's say 10% down, because that's
No,
when you start.
let's put more down.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
that's kind of in the way of your example. You're putting 30, you're putting, so 100. So you have a $280,000 mortgage, right? Is that the number?
Yeah.
122, no, 260, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So $260,000 should have been pretty easy. So
Yeah.
present value, 6.5%, 30 years, and your principal and interest only drops to $1,650
$1,650, yeah.
from 2000.
It's from 2000.
So
Which is, it's a big number, but this is what the mistake that a lot of people will go ahead and do.
I don't think it's a big number. How many months does it take to save $350 to get $40,000 in the bank?
Well, what I'm saying is it's a big number for someone mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a big number in general, but like for somebody that's going into, like, I go back to the emotional part. When you're getting a mortgage for 2,000, then you see 1,600, they go, "Oh, I want the 1,600."
Right.
But the mistake that a lot of people will do is that they use all their money to put it in the house.
Right.
And they don't have anything left.
Right.
Thinking
What happens
that,
when you move into what happens when you move into your new house?
Exactly. And I tell people,
What do you
look,
need to do?
what happens is that if the HVAC goes out,
And it always does.
what happens if you lose your job?
What happens if your wife doesn't like the color of the wall?
Exactly.
That happens.
And then any little thing.
And then the carpet doesn't match the wall. So I always tell new home buyers to have like another $40K
Yeah, you got to
saved up in savings just to make sure that they can do those things.
Yeah.
HVAC, being a homeowner.
Yeah, it happened to me. I bought my house here in Bridgewater, and then right off the bat, the first winter, I realized that, you know what? One HVAC is not enough because I have a bi-level house, and all the heat goes up.
Yeah.
And in the first floor, it's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah.
So you know what? The next summer, I had to basically spend like $28,000. Actually, it was $28,000. I replaced both of them.
It's a lot of money.
And then I broke up on because it wasn't working.
Right.
And that's something I didn't realize during the spectrum because it's working, it's fine. So those are things that, if I would have gone in and spent all my money in the down payment and buying the house, maybe a lower monthly payment, but you know what? Then I got no liquidity.
Right, and now you're borrowing from your house, or you're borrowing from a credit card,
15%, 20%.
Right, or the HVAC company is using their bank to lend you money at 12. Yeah, so you find yourself getting into a problem when, as I said earlier, one of the most important things of a financial plan is having cash reserve. Yeah, and it's comfort level. There's no right number. Like
bad things will happen.
The industry says 3 to 6 months of like fixed and variable expenses, but it's a comfort level. I have clients that keep like 50, 70 grand in the bank.
Yeah.
That's just what they want. And I have other clients that like, I'll keep $5,000 and I know I have my credit card and I'll pay it off at the end of the month, which is critical. Pay those credit card bills down. Do not let them accumulate.
It adds up. Yeah.
So,
but now changing the topic.
Okay.
How long have you been a member here of Raritan Valley?
I honestly couldn't tell you the exact year I joined. I think it was like 2006.
2006.
So I'm going on 19 years.
Were you a member at another place, or this was your first?
I played a lot of golf all over. I played at Architects. I played at New Jersey National had just opened. There's a place, Hawks Point. I played every semi-private club, but I didn't belong anywhere. I think I did 1 year at Architects. I think I did 1 year at Royce Brook.
How did you get into golf? Or was it just like,
buddy of mine that worked with me back at the firm was a scratch golfer and played only public courses. One of the greatest golfers I ever saw. Never wore a glove. He's my inspiration. I don't wear a glove. He said, he was like, think about all the money I've saved over the years by not wearing gloves. And I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
And he was right. And he said, anytime we won a tournament and we were playing like a lot of scrambles and things, and winning is fun.
Yeah.
I'm super competitive. Playing with him was a joy. He's an incredible golfer, and we'd win. And every gift certificate he took, he would buy his Pro Vs. That's it. Pro Vs. He had hundreds of dozens of Pro Vs in his garage. He's like, I love to play. I got my gear, and I just need balls.
Yeah.
So that's pretty wild. So, I was friendly with a couple of the members locally in town, and they said, come check it out. And going back, I'll take you back a little ways. My first office was on Route 22 in Bridgewater. I had a friend that lived in off of Vanderveer. Is that like right down? I think they refer to it as Chindia now.
I think so.
They literally, it's in the dictionary or it's in Wikipedia.
Yeah,
which is crazy. So he lived there, and we used to drive to his house and take lunch. And every time we would do that, we'd pass by Raritan Valley.
Yeah.
And he actually said to me one day, I'm going to belong there.
Yeah.
It's a private club. It's super cool. And I was like, okay. And I never even thought about it. And then as I was interviewing, I'm like, I am going to join a private country club.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty rigorous interview process. When I started, there was a waiting list. You actually had to pay a bond. Like I think it was like 20 grand, that you paid as a bond. That all has gone away, which is a little sad because it was an honor.
Yeah.
To meet the committee and get interviewed and and have them say yes, and then you write that check and you're like, wow.
And I gotta say, it's still an honor to be here, but yeah.
No, it's a total honor to be a member, but there was something really special about it not being
achievement,
not being a cheap way to get into a country club because their financial numbers, they needed members, and they were pretty much giving away the membership, which I never loved.
Yeah.
But happy that all these new guys have joined. Yeah. They seem amazing. But there's something about like being a certificate holder and a bond holder, and getting just that whole aura of being at a club that you interviewed and you paid to join. You paid good money. Yeah. There's something there's a pride about it for sure.
So how was the club back then? I mean, how was the course more than?
It's hard. It doesn't seem like it was that much different. I on tournament days, like playing in the club championship back then, I remember the cups were just cut a little bit tighter. Greens were a little quicker. Now on tournament days, the greens seem to be about the same. So it can be kept at a high level when it needed. I think way back when when I first joined, like there was no sprinkler system in the rough, and so the rough wasn't very punitive. Yeah. Right now, sometimes when they get that sprinkler system going, the rough gets really hard. Like our rough here is. It's pretty brutal when it needs to, but
especially in the spring, it's
membership seemed to be about the same. Like we were a little more active with like the social functions, young kids, things of that nature. Seemed to be like just a ton of fun. When we came, and now even now the membership is super fun. Where we go and we play. My wife and I both play pickleball. I play golf. So we're here for like lots of different events, and it's.
And what do you think? What do you think makes Raritan Valley special?
This place is all about the membership. Yeah, 100%. Like every time I come here, I'm surprised at a new person I meet. A guy I play golf with. It's a very fun group of people. We actually have an amazing level golf athletes now, like more than I can ever remember. Like, back, like I'm a 7. I don't think I ever got below a 5 when I was playing in the club championship. I have no chance now. We got scratch, we got +2s, we got some amazing golfers as well as really fun, people. A lot of fun people. We've added like all those wine functions and all those dueling piano, like a lot of really fun events, the pool scenario. My kids always loved the pool when we used to come here. It's kind of a joke. They're like, this place is great. Everything's free. Yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, if I go up to the counter and I order chicken nuggets, I just say 211. Yeah. That's my number, by the way. You can take that out. Yeah. But that was always an amazing thing for them, and they had a blast. I taught them how to play golf here. I think I have the video of each of them hitting over the 4th hole for the first time.
Or the water,
getting over the water for the first time. Just amazing memories with the kids growing up. My youngest son almost killed me. He was a baby, literally crawling around, and I went in between 2 carts to put a club back, and he was in the back cart and crawling around the floor. Hits the gas, and the cart takes off, and it jams my leg into the front cart. Thank God the brake was off on the front one, and I was able to hop forward a little bit. Oof. And they were all laughing. We're all laughing. They're like, "Oh my God, look at that!
I lose a leg."
Yeah, look at that. But it's like my own fault.
Yeah. Don't have your kid around
check
there.
Your surroundings, and you have 3 kids running around under the age of 10.
Yeah.
So amazing memories, with the staff and the staff knowing all the kids' names and numerous birthday parties and, amazing things. And
I have to say, I mean, I'm going through that right now with my kids in the pool.
Yeah. And
it's funny because my daughter now, she just goes up and gets ice cream all the time. And, it's like, okay, yeah.
There is no better existence.
Yeah.
I belong to a swim club where I grew up in Westfield, and, I would caddy in the morning. So I always had a, passion for golf. I'd caddy at Echo Lake Country Club in the morning. I'd come back with $12 after a single loop.
Yeah.
And I had all the money in the world at the club. It was like 50 cents for a burger. It was like, that was great. So here you don't even need the cash, the capital. You just say that number, and what an amazing like place for kids and parents, and the summer camps. Like my kids did it a couple times, but then they also went away to camp. So both experiences were great, but I see like how passionate everyone gets about the swim club, the swim team.
Yeah, no, there's
like
some
those
guys
those get, and some of these kids were like, went on to be like pre-Olympic, athletes, which is insane.
Yeah.
There's some really good that, the class with Penn and Pete and Renoya and those, and Foley's, they're some pretty
good,
damn good swimmers,
Yeah, the kids are
My
way
kids
more
were never
athletic than their
swimmers.
dads,
My kids were lacrosse guys. Hockey guys, that was there, and they played golf. So, but no swimming. We're not buoyant.
Definitely. I mean,
you probably have.
I float.
You float. No, I don't float, man. I don't move well in the water.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
I go maybe a meter, and then I'm already asking for help. So
yeah. I think we need some rafts in the pool for the summer, so we can have floating contests. Put that on the agenda for Raritan Valley. We'll have floating contests for the adults.
Now you're a big pickleball guy too, right?
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
Didn't you win something with the pickleball?
So 3-time singles champ here at the club. Won 3 doubles championships with Sean, and this year we opted not to play. And
you wanted to give the other guys a chance?
Yeah, that was part of the theory. Yeah. And Jason and his son, amazing family, always seeing, playing with them. There's some terrific, people and families that play over at the, I'm not going to mention names because I'm going to leave somebody out and then I'm going to feel terrible, but always tremendous fun going there. And I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
And
who did you beat the last time on the singles?
Jay's my guy. He's the
one that you always
beat him all 3 times. Yeah, he's working hard. He gives me the evil eye when he sees me.
I'm definitely gonna send a message.
You can. I mean, could not be a more gracious competitor. And I know he would take me down in golf. So that's
he would definitely take a lot of people down in golf.
Fair trade, but he's just such a gracious competitor when it comes to pickleball. His kids are amazing athletes. His son's gonna beat me before Jason. That's my.
I've seen his
His
son
son's
swing.
got a year or two, and
yeah.
he's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
He's really a good athlete, good player, and the younger one is pretty amazing. Also, it's just I like playing with them. So I'll play with anybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a super competitive game. I just love the sport. I love being out there. It's amazing. We put 4 incredible courts, here at Raritan Valley. It's one of the nicest settings of any pickleball place that I've ever played, and I've played all over the state, several other states. Our setting is incredible. So, I mean, if there's one thing, if you haven't checked out our pickleball courts, get down there. It's unbelievable, and we do a lot of fun stuff. I was telling you, we did the Halloween pickleball tournament. We all dressed up in costume. We had like 30 people, incredible costumes. We all played pickleball in costume, drank, then came up and had a really nice dinner. A lot of fun. We had an open bar down there. We had food, like a crudité. Amazing night. And
there's a lot to do here. There's
Yeah.
just a lot to do here. I mean, this place, honestly, I said it on a couple of podcasts, but when it comes to value, I mean, you cannot beat the value of this place. Just the pool itself. I spent my whole last summer. I spent literally the whole summer in the pool with my kids.
It's a great setup. That slide.
Yeah.
Like how many kids just they'll do it 100 times a day.
Yeah.
And you're like you would get, but they're perfect practice.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be perfect at that slide. You know what I mean? They're that's great. When I was here, there was a hot tub. When I first joined there, I don't know if you remember
I heard a story.
There used to be a hot tub, but a lot of the kids, you had to be over 13. Mm-hmm. So for some reason, they just cemented it in, and that was it. Now we put a giant gazebo there, which is cool. It's a great addition. That gazebo with by the pool. So the pool is incredible. The tennis, racquetball facilities are world class. Surprised we don't have 100 pickleball members.
Yeah.
Like all the places I do play outside of here, they're lined up, signing up for courts, and they have no idea how amazing our courts are.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to figure that out, but
maybe we'll do a tournament or something here.
There's a lot of things we can do. Member guests, our golf invitational is one of the signature events of the year. Definitely.
Well, let's talk about the member though.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about, and I know you're involved in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fun. The member, it was I did that
of the
last 2 years. I did it, and it is super fun.
So those are the 2 years that I've run it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With the Calcutta, I mean, that was honestly, it's a lot of money.
Going to an amateur team winning a weekend event at a club, it's tremendous, and the camaraderie and the sportsmanship, and this year was incredible. Watching all the teams get bid up.
Yeah,
it didn't matter who you were.
Because I mean, this year I saw people were like, okay, the first year it was like, oh, well, how does this work? And, and for those who are listening and watching too, basically a Calcutta is like you have a bunch of people betting for which team is going to win, and they get the help.
So even pretty close. But the simplest term is every team is up for auction.
Yeah.
So each team can get bought by anybody. Mm-hmm. So guys are fighting over the best players. Guys are fighting over the guys whose handicaps are going to be helpful in the event.
Let's say how they're fighting over the sandbaggers.
I think I said that pretty nicely. Without getting into
they're fighting for who has a fake handicap.
Right. So you not only could buy your own team, but you can get outbid, and somebody else can buy your team, and then you can buy it back and own. Have co-owners of a team. So now you're playing the tournament for a pretty significant amount of cash. You play different. You're playing against the whole field.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It was funny because my wife is not usually happy of me being away the whole weekend drinking and having fun.
Okay.
I mean, she loves me. She's happy, but let's face it.
I mean, you love her and you're super appreciative that she allows you to do that. That's what you meant to say, right?
But when it comes to these things, she goes in the morning.
Guys,
Yeah, she goes in the morning and she goes, make sure you win, okay?
Right.
Make sure you win. She's like, really, like, it's a lot of money. I think
yeah.
actually Travis last year
Oh my God.
when he won it, he was having a baby like
Yeah.
a few months later. He was
Right.
like, he got
So
a bunch
I
of money.
so when I was putting this together, even the member guest is amazing to win your flight. There's the betting, and it turns out to be some good money if you win your flight and you win your thing. I said this to a number of guys. You've never seen a man at Raritan Valley sweat or be nervous.
Oh yeah.
More so than when he has to make a 2-foot putt. I go, that's what this is all going to come down to. And you can always improve on it. And I'm always looking for feedback, like last year, the two gentle giants, Bruno and Kevin hit probably two of the most incredible golf shots on that hole. Cause that was double rolled before we did it. Balls were not staying on, and both of them stuck it, one to a foot, one to like 7 feet. So it was pretty much over.
I mean, that shot by Bruno,
right?
He hit it just in the, for those who don't know, the 10th hole on our course is basically
triple tier.
Yeah, so it has one. It goes right to left, but you got to hit it in the perfect spot in the front, so it rolls forward.
Right. So the front is flat. Then you got the back upper tier, which rolls hard left to right. Then you got a hill that rolls off to the bottom. Yeah. And Jim and I, the green superintendent, wanted to put the pin in a really hard spot and double roll it so that anything that was in that vicinity was rolling off. And I watched ball after ball roll off. And then these guys stepped up and just stuck them. And it was incredible. And, the feedback was, that's not fair. The higher handicaps have an advantage. I'm like, I don't know. You could probably have them hit 10 balls and not wind up remotely close to where they were on the.
I don't see how you could make it.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have to hit it from the back tees.
So they're 20 yards further back, and they had amazing shots, and they deserve to win, and they should.
I would say that the lower handicaps, the higher handicaps, higher handicaps have a bigger advantage on that hole.
Well,
because
I would think so. It's not a terribly difficult hole.
Yeah.
Actually, when I joined here, there was 3 gigantic pine trees on the left side, like huge, kind of like the ones coming up 9 that are there now. So anything left, I mean, you're just done. I mean, dead. Like it was the shortest par 5, in the state. Back then, and so that's a huge improvement over the years, getting those trees and redoing all the bunkers. It's not, it's an easy hole to have trouble, but I think any golf hole is easy to have trouble with. Like when someone says it's an easy golf hole, I'm like, you don't play golf enough.
You don't play,
any hole at any
it's in
point,
your head. It's in your
100%. head. Some you love more than others, but I think you could birdie any hole, you could double bogey any hole on any given day. There's no...
Any hole is going to be tough.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, if you have the chance, I remember... I'll drop this in. I won the Fagan Cup here a couple of years ago. That's my
first year you were here, if I remember. Congratulations.
Maybe,
like, who's this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's this guy, Danny Rizzo, that just blew through the field?
Yeah.
That's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's probably because I didn't think about it. It was my first year, and I was like, okay, I'll play, and I wasn't thinking about what a big accomplishment.
To piggyback on that, the first year I played in the Invitational, I won the whole thing with my buddy. And have never repeated it. Have won my flight maybe 2 more times. But, so it's just sometimes you walk in and you feel confident.
You have so in the member you have 60 teams. No, we usually have 35.
So last year worked out perfect. We had 36 twosomes, right? So we had a foursome starting on every hole. So there was no waiting. It was the perfect pace. I'd like to keep it that way, but we said ideally we'd go up to 60, teams. I don't think we need that many. So that was super fun. I think, someone else can do the math on, in terms of how many teams we actually had, but it worked out perfect. And the Calcutta was amazing. The staff all weekend, the party.
Good food,
Todd Stein, gets that band. That's incredible. They come out and
I'll tell you my favorite part of the member in the past 2 years is after we're done on Saturday. Yeah, Yeah, on Saturday.
Yeah.
We basically go down there
Yeah.
by the 18th hole.
Yeah.
And we start drinking.
Yeah. Again.
And we just talk and then
some guys are smoking their cigars, some guys are smoking other things, but everyone's got a drink and a story and just amazing camaraderie. Amazing.
And then somehow we have to shower and then just get ready for the dinner.
That's Friday. That's Friday.
Yeah, Friday. We do it Friday, Saturday.
Friday's the party.
Yeah.
Saturday, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired, man. Because Thursday night's the Calcutta happy hour. That's
it's a lot of drinking.
It's a little bit of drinking that weekend. Yeah. But it's amazing. I mean, it's one of my favorite events of all time.
Yeah. It's definitely I think that if you haven't done it, do it. And definitely, I mean, I can't wait for it this year.
Yeah, sign up for all the golfing events,
all the tournaments. Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, I spend some time down the shore in the summer, so I don't I do the Memorial Day or the July 4th, and I miss those. Yeah, I did them when I first joined, and they're super competitive, but. I'm okay being down the shore now. The kids are older.
Not a bad place to be.
Different. Plus, I'm not as good as a lot of these guys, and so not that that's an excuse, but I'm happy being there.
You just have to bump up your handicap a little bit more, and that's
trying, man. I'm trying. It doesn't seem to go up.
Yeah,
but actually, I'm feeling so much better. I don't know if I told you or knew, but I had some arthritis going through my system. I'm on medication, so I'm in remission. But for about a year and a half. I was in a lot of pain. So playing pickleball, going to the gym, playing golf was really hard. Yeah. So now I am not in any pain, and I'm pretty passionate again. I feel pretty excited about golf. So once the simulator gets set up, I'm going to be spending some time here, and I hope 2026 is going to be a much better golf year for Steve. I can't wait.
Locker. Honestly, I'm looking at the snow right now, and I'm like. 4 months. It's a long time, but I can't wait. Hopefully,
we play inside. We could play outside. Yeah. I like winter golf, man. When you hit that drive off that frozen tundra and that ball just rolls down, you just need a wool hat, gloves, and you're carrying your own bag, so you're not cold.
I'll be out there.
Yeah, we'll play some winter golf.
I can't be away from this place for too long.
I like playing some winter golf. It's fun. That's a tournament we never put in. The last tournament. That we had before Thanksgiving, the Turkey Tussle. I started that back 15 years ago, and it was 10 guys, literally 10 guys. Throw in $20 a man. We'll do skins, and it was okay. We sold out this year.
It was amazing.
There was 12 teams on the waiting list.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. That says everything about the club, the direction of the club. So we do need to set up a winter tournament, though.
Well, listen, we're gonna end it at that. But thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I mean, we probably could have gone for another couple hours.
This is fun. Yeah, man. That was an hour.
That was an hour. Yeah, that was an hour.
All right.
But I really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to 2026. It's gonna be an amazing year.
Absolutely, Danny. Appreciate you having me on.
My handicap is gonna go down to a scratch, maybe. Nah, I'm kidding. There's no way.
There's no way. You're not doing a scratch.
It's more likely that I go up to I'm at 8.
All right.
But I play a 15 most of the time, but
Okay. So we could start a betting pool that says over under is 10.
Yeah, most likely.
Awesome, though. I appreciate
Thank you very much, man.